Not so long ago, Fernando Alonso was finishing almost every race on the podium, and it seemed only a matter of time before he got his 33rd victory. Aston Martin was second in the championship and no one thought it could fall down. Unfortunately, that is exactly what happened. After the race in Austin, they are 5th in the Construction Championship and Alonso has fallen to 4th in the standings, not even mentioning Stroll. So, what happened to Aston Martin? Aston Martin showed up for pre-season testing in a spectacular form this year. Despite Stroll being out because of a hand injury, they looked like the second fastest team and finished the race in P3 for Alonso and P6 for Stroll and left Bahrain with second place in the championship, jumping full 5 places from last year. The story of how they made such a jump is a longer one, but in short, over the winter, a bunch of new people from Mercedes, Red Bull, etc. Came into the team and managed to implement a lot of improvements. Unfortunately, from around Monaco, Aston Martin started to fall away from the competition and has now fallen from the 2nd place down to 5th, where they will certainly remain. There are several theories as to why had this fall happened. For example, it's possible that Aston Martin was slowed down by the slight adjustment and clarification of the rules, especially around flexible wings and aerodynamic surfaces, or by a slight change in the compound of the Pirelli tires that took place during the season. A more realistic explanation will be that Aston Martin was simply outdeveloped on upgrades. Both Mercedes, Ferrari and McLaren brought a lot of big upgrades during the season, which, especially at McLaren, completely changed their form and put them ahead. These teams also had big and clear gaps they needed to be improved and filled. Aston Martin had a very solid car from the beginning of the year, and which is harder to find improvements on. Aston Martin's leadership admitted that their upgrades were not working as well as they would have liked, and in the recent races they even started to revert back to the older spec versions of the car. Despite this recent relative drop, however, Aston Martin is still 2 places higher in the championship this year than last, and it's still waiting for new infrastructure in form of a new wind tunnel, even though they already moved into the new factory. The Aston Martin technical team now faces much harder tasks than they had last year, and that's to come up with new ideas, not just implement what others are already doing. But if Aston Martin really wants to fight for championships in the future, they have to solve one problem, and that's their second driver. Just look at the difference in the point ratio between Alonso and Stroll, and it's clear why they are only 5th. Alonso holds 77.5% of the team points. If the team had 2 Alonsos, they could still easily be on the 2nd or 3rd place in the championship. Stroll is simply not performing enough compared to Alonso this year, which would be understandable to some extent. Alonso is a 2-time world champion after all, and despite his age, he still drives phenomenally. But even if we consider that beating Alonso is almost impossible, Stroll should still be closer to him if he wants to be in a team like Aston Martin with big ambitions for winning championships in the future. It's true that in few races he was unlucky with the reliability of the car, and there were moments like in the Spanish Grand Prix when he was faster than Alonso, but Stroll has been in Formula 1 for 7 years now, and he can't be this inconsistent. We all know why Stroll still holds that place in Aston Martin. His father owns the team and he wants to see his son win. But this just isn't happening, and it's starting to hurt the whole team as well. If Lawrence Stroll really wants to see Aston Martin fight for the championship, I'm afraid he will have to move Lance away. Don't get me wrong, Lance is a very fast driver on his day and he can drive quite well, but obviously not enough to fight for the championship in Formula 1. Moreover, Aston Martin has an excellent place to put him. They could move Stroll into Aston Martin's new program ITVEC, such as Antonio Giovinazzi, who recently won Le Mans with Ferrari. To pick who could replace Stroll will be more difficult. Aston Martin can certainly be a very interesting place for a lot of drivers, especially if they build their own engines with Honda from 2026 onwards and have complete new facilities, and they have a very good chance of success. Speaking of joining with Honda, Yuki Tsunoda offers himself because he is a Honda junior. He is driving very well this year, and I think he could be an excellent second driver to Alonso. Aston also has a F2 world champion Felipe Dragovic as the junior and front driver, but it's hard to say how he would compare to Alonso, and there would certainly be many other drivers that would want such a ride. Well, that's enough for today's videos. I hope you liked it, and you should subscribe so you don't miss any other future videos. And I'm looking forward to seeing you next week. So bye!